everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Trine Ruth Larsen and I'm from Norway. So Norwegian is my natural language to speak and not English, but I'm doing the best as I can because I am hoping to get a wider audience and people who speak English are more people speak English. So I have to have this water for my voice. So let's see. Today, what I want to talk about is because, as I said, I'm from Norway. It sounds very sad, but I spent most of my life in the cold weather. Usually, of course, it's nice and cozy inside. I have cozy or memories of cozy, warm both nights and days inside houses or cottages in the wintertime, but I also have experienced cold nights and cold days inside a house. So I'm thinking, well, actually, I do have some tricks or tips. Tricks is a little bit, some tips then. So, about the bed. So, I must say that what I hope to speak a lot about on my channel is the environment, which is, of course, an extremely important topic. So much to say about it. Wild animals need to be protected, and their habitats need to be protected. They are threatened every second as we speak. So that's a huge topic for me. And in Norway, we have oh my God, our fantastic wolves, our fantastic bears, our fantastic lynx, and they are all threatened. We have our long border between Sweden and Norway, and some of these animals go to and from the back and forth the, between Norway and Sweden. So Sweden and Norway together are responsible for these animals. I will say a lot about that later in another time, not today. And about environment is, what can we say? The huge things are that we need clean air, we need clean soil, we need clean fresh water, we need clean oceans. So many things human beings have made of products. Plastic is one huge material what can we say about that? That's a lot. We have made things that should in many cases not been made. Well, I don't want to say anything more about plastic today, but plastic is of course a huge deal when it comes to the environment. And the whole big picture of it all is that our whole planet needs to be cooled down, and there's several ways to do that. Right now, to be very depressed, I laugh about it sometimes. Right now, it is so tragic. Well, right now the planet is on its way to becoming our fantastic moon, which is fantastic to look at, but we don't want to have the moon's landscape here. We want it fresh, wet, nice, everything. So not the moon. We want to look at the moon, fantastic moon from a distance, and we don't want that landscape here. What has that to do with a bed? It actually has something to do with how people make their beds. A little bit. It does. Because when it's cold inside, what does people do? They try to heat it with wood, burning other things, using energy, electricity. And then we can ask, how is electricity made? That is a huge topic for another video. That's the connection with the bed. If people had used more natural materials that gives warmth, your body warmth, keep it, well, that's too long. Now I'm trying to be a physics teacher without being a physics teacher. Somehow, wool, as everybody knows, is warm. It isn't warm in itself, but sometimes it well, that's, I can't start talking about that because the technicalities of it. Because this feels warm at once when I touch it. This woven cotton feels cold. So something there about it. So should we just get started? Did I talk about why I have my hat on? Maybe not. It's because my hair is not perfect at the moment. So we take a summer hat on. That's not part of the tips for a winter, cold winter day or night. Let's start with the bed and save the planet. Let's see. If we're talking about the environment, of course, each and every part. How is the bed made? What materials are used? How are these? That's a huge topic in itself. Today, just making the bed. Okay, let's start. Let's drink some water. Okay, this is the bottom thing. If you see any kind of hair or anything here, it's a nice and clean one. But I have a cat. It's so nice to have a cat to blame for everything. So if you see anything on it, it's my cat. My cat. Okay. I guess we have to talk about cotton. We have to talk about sheets first. We have to talk about the different kind of materials. This is like a knitted one. It's elastic sheet, or a sheet with elastic on the end of it. Any kind of sheets you can use, of course. But I'm talking about the material. This is cotton, 100% cotton. But if you look very closely to it, it looks like it's knitted. So it is, of course, like just like a person has knitted it, but no person can knit with such thin thread. So a machine has made it, but it's just the same technique as knitting. So it's elastic compared to this cotton that is woven cotton. And of course, to me, this feels warmer, a tad bit warmer than this one. And my theory is, or I have also read that it's because more air is actually trapped in this type of way of making it. So more that will isolate more than this woven. Again, woven, when I say woven with such thin thread that only a machine can do it, of course. So you have to look very closely to see that it's woven. So another type of sheet you can get is frotté, is the name in Norwegian. It is made exactly like towels are made, not that thick, of course. It's thinner, but with these loops, so that would be even more isolating, I guess. I have one somewhere, but I don't have one that is as big as this. So I guess that will isolate even more. If you can find that type, that I should have Googled, but I don't know, but like a towel. You think about it as a towel, but just very much thinner. That's a good solution. And you can also buy sheets that are made of wool. I've never tried them. I'm sure they are perfectly nice and warm, so you can buy a whole sheet. You can actually buy pillowcases also in wool, duvet cover in wool, but I've never tried it. And again, about the washing of it, you can wash wool, of course, but my experience is that so many times I have washed something in the washing machine, even if it goes well 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, suddenly, bam, it doesn't go well. So my trick now finally comes to the tip, and that is a blanket. A blanket of a certain type. You can use any kind of blanket of wool or natural, some material you want. Wool, I mean, from an animal, I guess I would say. Something that yeah. But a type of this is a small one, of course. So it's a type that is like a little bit thick. This is, well, I have another one here that's better. This is the perfect one. This is this really old type. This is from my grandparents. This is an old one. and it's like stable because it's so thick. It'll be more stable on your bed. But if you don't have it, have a thinner one, whatever. And what I saw was that this is Swedish. That's a little bit fun. I have no idea about this factory that has made it, but that's so interesting with such old things with good quality. They last for generations. So this one is Tidstrand. It just sounds Swedish. Yeah, of course it was Swedish also. Impregnerad mot mal. And then I guess mal must be mel in Norwegian, which I don't remember right now. Moth in English, I guess. So that's the one. Of course it should be bigger. This is my huge tip. A huge tip. A woolen blanket, and don't sleep right on top of it, because it's so much better if you put, I mean, it would be warmer, I guess, to sleep right on top of it, but again, you have this washing part. So you put the blanket, no, not blanket, you put the stretch sheet with elastics on top of it to keep it in place. Right now I have to do it a little bit fast, so we would use more time making it nice and tidy, no, nice and everything. So soon finished. Then we have it over here. Bam, 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 over here. So let's just use a little bit of fantasy here. I'm saying, let's say it's perfect. What about this? What's that? What is that? It's because it has been hanging somewhere. It has been hanging over something. And the same thing there. Oh well. This is my tip. So of course, bigger blanket, or you sleep well. Anyhow, that's it. Very nice. So, what's the further? Where can we go from here? Should we start with the pillows? Right now, I don't have a normal little pillow here. I don't have a normal pillow. I'll use this big, what we call in Norwegian, hotel pillow. We call it a hotel pillow. I tried to Google. I've seen that they call it a continental pillow, but it hasn't the same dimensions, because the dimension on this one is 70 centimeters this way and 1 whole meter this way. I think it's a fantastic pillow. Continental pillow I have seen. What was the other name of it again? European pillow? I don't remember. Hotel pillow. A big pillow. Again, this is not for sleeping, but it's just illustrating a pillow. A pillow for sleeping. So here, of course, you could put wool inside of this if you wanted. That would be nice and warm. Where did I have my little blanket? So you can put this inside, of course. So maybe I should get a little pillow, a perfect pillow. Let's see. So for the sleeping pillow, You could put wool like this, wrap it like a present. You could wrap it like a present like this, and you could like that, and you could put it if this is big enough. Like this one. There you have a woolen pillow. This is a special pillow because it's for like a neck pillow. So it's like it has this shape. It looks like a little bit funny. This would be a very nice warm pillow to have your head on when it's cold in the room. Because so okay, we'll go this far. Now about the cover. We have a lot to say about the cover that people have on top of themselves. So, in Norway and I guess most European countries, well, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. I don't have a normal. Let's see. Okay, now we have come to the part with the duvet. A duvet, we have summer duvets, winter duvets. It's different types of duvets, thin, thick, anything. But I love duvets. When I came to England and America, oh my god, I was so shocked the first time when I was 10 years old and came to England. And they only had this blanket on top that I know now is called a comforter, with this thin cotton sheet underneath the comforter on top, and then this sheet, oh, what was the word for that, folded over, and then this tucking in, so you felt like a letter in an envelope. So that was strange to me. I was used to the duvet. So then we have talked about the duvet. Is there any tricks for the duvet? Again, we can talk about materials, and it will be the same that we talked about for the bottom sheet. When I'm thinking about knitted type, like this stretch, I don't remember I've seen it in a knitted type for duvet cover. That's a woven. I've not seen frotté either, like a towel. I've not seen that. I've seen woven, that's very normal. And the flannel type. The flannel type is woven and brushed, so it gets actually thicker. The material gets thicker, and that's how the more air is trapped inside. So of course, flannel feels so much warmer than woven cotton duvet cover. So now we have a little star here. We have a little friend. Hello. Hello. And yeah. So woven is the only type I'm thinking about for duvet covers at the moment. Flannel, woven, but there is other materials, and that is linen. So I have one here that is 100% linen. I have several that are 50% linen, 50% cotton, and you can argue, is linen warmer than cotton or this and that. I have a little feeling that the linen is a bit warmer, but again, linen is also very nice in the summer, which is also cotton. So, well. Think about if you want linen, half cotton, or if you want flannel in the winter time. Again, you can get wool, but what I would not recommend is the just normal woven cotton. Feels a little bit cold. But I will mention another thing. You can always, yeah, but that's your duvet. Is there more to say about duvets right now, Noah? I don't. Well, who is that? Now I can't show. Oh well, we'll just have it here then. Lusa loves it. So that's the duvet. If you don't have a duvet, you have a comforter. I don't know how big those are, but what I've done here is this is my 100% linen, which is a duvet cover. It is a duvet cover, but I've put a blanket inside. So I'll just show how I put it inside. So that's my other tip. If you have blankets, put it in the duvet cover. And then, let's see, is this the wrong way? Because we will, let me see, we will put it the wrong way out. The wrong way. And so that's the wrong way out. Then we put our hands in. That's the same technique you can use for the duvet. You put your hands in like this. Then you find the corners. One corner. One corner. And you have the blanket inside. So, then you put the other corner in here. And the other corner in here. And you can close it, but we don't have time for this right now. So here you have a nice blanket. And then if you have several blankets, several duvet covers, this is very nice. So you can have it. I think that's very nice. Because again, with washing with wool is, I think it's so nice to just, it's so much easier to wash cotton or linen instead. So now, how far have we come? I guess it's time to talk about what I say, hotel pillows. But as I said, let's just call it a big pillow, because I've seen continental pillow or European pillow. I've seen some different names on it in English, or names for them in English. Let's just call them a big pillow. Mine is, as I said, 70 centimeters one way, 1 meter the other way. I think it's a fantastic size for a pillow. And we have come so far now. I'm just thinking, have I said everything to say about the bed now? I think so. It would be a nice cozy bed for a cold day, but we have not yet talked about the big pillows. This wall is an outer wall. It's an outer wall, and it is a bit cold. It is nice to have your bed a little bit away from the wall, so you don't get that cold directly on it. You could have your bed in there, pillows right there. But what I find is more cozy is to have some more space from the wall to the bed. Maybe Rosa is proof that this bed is cozy now. She is the proof. So what you can put down here is anything. Yeah, look at these things. You can put, if you have extra chairs, you could put the back of the chair towards the wall. And yes, but I want to say something about that. And that is, I'll just get a sheet, because, well, it's actually a lot to say about that. It's a lot to say about it. Because here's a sheet that you can use to cover them so people don't see them. But there is a huge thing, because we will build up with pillows. It's so nice to sit there, but of course it's so important that you don't have a hard, it must be no chance that people jump down, sit there, and bam, hurt their backs or their bottoms. So we must consider this, having something soft there, have them lower. Just think about that. It's not very comfortable to come into if the chair is this high and bam. So that's the thing to think about. The other thing to think about is that this wall, one thing, when a wall is cold and there is moisture in the air, there will be, if this is here the whole winter, half a year, and you don't think about the moisture, there can be spots on your pillows or your chairs. So you have to sometimes check that it's not, and let it air a little bit. Think about that moisture, because when moisture hits something cold, it can be moisture. I mean, when moisture in the air hits something cold, it can be turned into water. I'm talking like a chemistry teacher when I'm not at all. So if you just keep those ugly boxes, plastic boxes, again, plastic, as I said, stupid. I must not talk about plastic. I have plastic here. So cover them with something nice so you don't see them. Just cover a bit more, better than that, and then you can use your big pillows. Here I have a store-bought pillow. Yes, so this one is a perfect one. Again, and there is polyester. I did not find one that was 100% down. This has, I think it was 60% down and then polyester. But the down is isolating. Again, if you want it even warmer, you can have, for instance, a flannel cover, flannel pillowcase, or you can have wool inside, a little wool something to cover inside of it. Anyway, that is one pillow you can have. So we'll put that in place. We'll put that over here. So, and there are some tricks if you don't have a proper big pillow like that. We have some tips up our sleeves. Is that a word? Some tips. We'll see what's inside this one. What do we have in here? We have just a duvet is what we have. No, it's a big pillow. It's a duvet I've put I have folded in two. So this is I guess a children's size. This is a children's size duvet that I have folded in two, like this, and you have it in here. If you need it sometime, it's just to use it. So we'll throw this one over here. Oh, like this is not so stiff as the store-bought one. We'll put it over there. So now there is one. What else can you put in a big pillowcase? You can put, I guess this one. This one is like a gift for myself. What have I put in this one? This is also a no. What this is 2 pillows. That's what it is. I've put 2 pillows inside. 2 small pillows have become one. Yeah, look at this. So I have put 2 small pillows. You can of course put a small pillow, but if you want a big one to cover there, then you have 2 small pillows. So let's put this one in like it was, and you have a big pillow to cover that side. But again, oh, this was not perfect because well, that was not perfect because I need another box there. But we can throw it over there just to show. And again, you can, yeah. So that was something. And here I have like an old blanket. It's an old one. This is so old that it has holes in it, big holes like this. It's not actually used, I can't use it for anything. So what you can do with this one, or if you have an ugly blanket, you don't like the colors, oh sorry, what you can do, what I have here is an old blanket. It's really horrible. It has big holes in it. You really can't use it for anything, and to be very honest, this is not a beautiful blanket. Oh, this is kind of cute. It looks like somebody has tried to fix it. No, it doesn't. I would say this is just in one way to throw away. It's ugly. Sadly, it is ugly. I'm sorry, but it is 100% wool, I'm guessing. It feels nice and warm, so it has a value. It can save the planet. This can save the planet. Don't throw it away. Lots of holes, ugly. It can still do an important job. Save us from becoming the moon. It can. So what we do is just cover it up. We just hide it in something. We hide it in a pillowcase. So with this, I'm thinking that people can find all the ugly blankets, buy ugly blankets at secondhand store, whatever. And you can always, now I've rolled it in a strange way, but you can roll it. I have like a long thing, you can roll it, and that can be, for instance, on top of that one. You can roll it and have it in a duvet cover, for instance. It's long. You can have it on the bottom, on top of the boxes or your chairs. You can fold it so it gets into a pillowcase. You can use it to inside there, for instance, covering up those two pillows. So you can actually use an ugly old blanket with holes in it. It has a good value. It has really good value. That's my, I'm just thinking if there are more tips now I can give about the bed. I think I've come, the bed doesn't look perfect. I think it looks perfect with a cat on it or with an animal on it. It looks perfect. So, yeah, that is my, this didn't look so beautiful, but of course the most beautiful one, well, what I can say now is that my plan was to make it perfect, but we'll say that with a cute little cat on it, it is perfect. And that was my tips for a warmer bed in the wintertime, or even in warm climates. I know that the nights can be cold also there, so maybe I can say this is a tip for everyone. Have a very nice day, evening, night. Goodbye from Norway, from me.